It's like so gut wrenching, and the way he was singing it, I was like, "It's gonna be okay, man." Like I don't know why you're sad, but like,
Yes.
Simon,
Yes.
poor guy.
What you're going to hear about today is nothing short of a miracle.
hello everybody, welcome to Pubstomp, a podcast about games, TV shows, movies, and pop culture in general. Every episode, we discuss topics that we find interesting. Come join our shenanigans.
Hey, welcome to another episode of Pubstomp Podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about Zoey's Extraordinary Playlist. It's a TV show, TV series, and we'll get into it. But before, the man that's back from Sin City. What's up, Mexy?
Yo.
What's up, Tyler?
Hey.
Hey. All right, but as always, we have some things that we missed in the last episode from Army of the Dead. Mexi, tell us, what did we miss in the first 40 seconds?
So I was perusing the internet as one does, and then I was like, let's see what other people say about Army of the Dead. And I was shocked to find out that in the first 40 seconds you can see UFOs. I was like, nah, that's a lie. That's not true. And then I went to go look at it for myself, and it was there. And I was like, oh, how did we miss this?
They go whoosh, whoosh. I don't know how we missed it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and I was giving Mexi crap because I was like, Mexi, why don't you sit down and watch the movie? But it's just super early. 40 seconds in the movie. If you're not watching it, you're going to miss it.
Yeah, man, like when you're getting comfy on the couch, turning off your phone, saying the text like, hey, watching a movie, talk to you later, like, boom, you missed it.
Yeah, you missed it. Yeah, it's over. Yeah, so it goes back to what Mexi was saying on our episode about this movie, that this was supposed to be an alien/zombie movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the stuff they forgot to like erase. But I guess they're gonna roll with
Big
it.
thing to forget.
They're gonna roll with it.
Well, I think they're still sticking to that zombie thing. It's alien zombie. It's so weird, man. I'm excited for the prequel anime that's coming out, and then the prequel movie. It's gonna be good.
Okay, we'll see. But yeah, go watch it because it's actually pretty cool. First 40 seconds, look at the sky. You'll see two lights, and they're gonna move. So don't blink. All right, and with that out of the way, also Loki came out. Was it this week? I guess the week of June 10th. June something 9th.
June 9th.
First episode.
Comes out on Wednesdays now.
Yeah, it comes out on Wednesdays, right? So first episode, kick it off. What do you guys think?
It's good. Good.
So good.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're doing these movie quality TV shows, but it's great.
Because they got that Disney money, yo.
Yeah.
Yeah, Disney money. Yeah. It was pretty well done. I think of course I haven't seen a lot of these movies, so I missed a lot of context. All I know. So is this what happened at the beginning where Loki escaped? Was that at the end of some movie?
It is not at the end. It's in the middle of not Infinity War, Endgame. So the last Avengers movie.
Okay.
They're traveling in time and picking up the Infinity Stones from different points in time. And like this happens in the middle of that, which in the movie it's happening during the first Avengers movie.
I see. So he does escape. So in the movie he does escape and he does disappear.
In the movie of Endgame, yes.
It's very subtle though. It's like you could miss it.
In the sacred timeline, as they say, he does not escape.
So what is this? So is the show Loki on the sacred timeline, or is that something else entirely?
Something where time doesn't exist, the null time zone.
No, but he does escape somewhere else, right? So he takes the
he
block.
just escapes to another. So what happens is he escapes to another point in time or another place on Earth, but because he escaped and didn't get captured like he's supposed to, he created a branch timeline, and that's what's going on.
So I would like to point out that like whatever infomercial commercial cartoon that they showed at the lobby that explained how the timelines work was actually kind of informational for me as a newcomer into the world. It's like, oh, that's cool. That's the police. You messed up. You go out of your timeline. You go back into where you belong, or get erased from the timeline entirely. So that was pretty sweet. Was that
They explain that in Endgame actually too.
Okay.
Where
they do?
like
Okay.
if you leave, if you don't put things back in their spot where they're supposed to be, it creates a branch timeline.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
it was there for you.
gotcha. It was,
Just
yeah, for me.
standard
I figured
time
because
travel
it was a
movie
cartoon.
stuff.
So I was like, okay, yeah, it was like we cannot waste time with actors. Let's draw a cartoon. It would be good.
It was like the
and I had a-
Jetsons.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I had a question about the 3 timekeepers?
Mhm.
Are those a thing in the movie as well, or is
No,
it just in
that's-
this
this is in the-
universe?
Well,
Okay.
it is in this universe. Everything's the MCU now.
Sorry, sorry, not this universe, but in this show, in this.
Yeah,
context
this
of
is
the
the
show.
first reference.
Okay, cool, nice. I'm excited about that because it kind of sounds pretty ominous. Why 3? Why not 2? Why not 1?
Yeah, so like they're starting to do like deep cuts Marvel stuff. Like you need to know Marvel to like, and this is where like the edge of my knowledge starts coming in because I don't know like all this stuff. Like I know, but I don't know kind of thing, you know.
Oh,
You know?
man, I was gonna ask you
man.
some questions.
I mean,
Yeah,
you can
man.
I was
ask
looking
and I can
forward
try to
some-
explain it.
Gotta go hit the books, man.
You know, maybe I did before this episode. You don't know. Test me, motherfucker.
Oh, man.
But it's really cool. You mentioned earlier like you weren't super excited about it. You're kind of like meh, but like the repercussions of the show. One, Kevin Feige already said that this is going to be the biggest Marvel show that they have. That has the most effects in the world in the MCU. So that's exciting. And then it makes more sense when you consider what the show is about, right? Because you're talking about the time variant, whatever it's called, TVA. That's all I remember.
Yeah.
Agency, time
Yeah.
variance agency, right? So they're the ones that keep the timelines intact, right?
Yes.
But we already know that the next Doctor Strange movie is Multiverse of Madness. We already know Spider-Man is doing some kind of multiverse thing. And we know that Ant-Man and the Wasp, the next one is called Quantumania, that also has one King the Conqueror and time traveling. So like 3 movies coming up that all deal with time traveling and multiverses. So something's going to happen to the TVA here, right? Like
Yeah.
that's what you're getting to.
So the reason why I was like sending all those yawn emojis is because for me, like stuff that deals with time travel, it's like usually it has to be done really well, and if it's not done really well, it kind of leaves a lot of holes. And it's like, how does this work? And then the other issue with time travel is that if there's time travel, that means there's like everything's already set in stone, right? There's a destiny, and that path is already carved, right? No matter what. And they touched a little bit on the beginning of the show, like everybody's path is already carved. There's already a path for everybody. You're going to do what you're going to do. So it gives you a sense of hopelessness, right? And that's why I have a problem with shows that deal with time travel.
But it doesn't, right?
It
Because
doesn't.
because they're explaining that if you don't do what you're supposed to, it creates branches. And
Yeah,
that
somebody
starts
will whack you back into it.
What if they're not there though?
Oh, okay. Maybe. Look.
Because they're starting to kill. See, like this is why it's exciting because they're showing you the destruction of the TVA, which may or may not happen. I don't know. But considering that there's all these multiverse movies coming out, it's like, where are they doing those movies, huh? Like,
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's my issue with time travel. It's kind of hard to everything is said. Everything happens for a reason, and everything is already supposed to happen. Because if you can travel to the past, you can travel to the future. So, and that traveling is what is already supposed to happen, right? So I don't know. It's confusing.
you want to hear a theory that blows your mind?
All right, what's up?
Because they've been talking about this since the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So if you guys look at the shield that not Bucky has, that the Falcon has, or I'm gonna call him Falcon because that's how I remember his name.
That's his name.
His shield is not the same shield that Steve Rogers went into the past with.
Oh.
So the theory out there is that Captain America went into the future where the Falcon is the Captain America and brought that shield back so that when he says this is your shield, like when he's like when Falcon is like, "Oh, this feels like somebody else's," and he says, "No, it's yours." It's because it's actually his from the future. Whoa!
Oh.
Yeah, but that's what I mean, right? Like it's confusing because he went to the future to grab his shield and then give it back. So that loop always happened if time is to travel in the way that we think, right? So
Right.
that's why it's not really like it's like a loop, and it gets super confusing to talk about. But if you just ignore that, fine, it's his shield. But that's cool though. That's cool. I don't want to like rain on your parade. That's just my
I mean,
personal.
I'm just saying, time
I
travel.
don't like
Weird, man.
time. Yeah, exactly. Time travel is weird, and I don't like it.
Makes me feel weird.
Yeah, makes me feel confused. I don't like feeling dumb. But one other thing, the detective. I like the actor is pretty cool. He's funny. His name is Mobius, right? And was that a reference to like Mobius strip? You guys know what that is?
You know it.
Yeah, yeah. Was it? Oh.
Yeah.
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 It
so I was
comes up
like,
a couple
oh,
of times in Marvel.
time looping
Yeah.
on itself. Oh snap!
Yeah.
I was like, oh, you
In
guys
the
are
first
clever.
movie, in the Iron
Oh,
Man
does it?
movie. Well, I don't know
Gotcha.
if it's the first Iron Man movie, but one of the Iron Man movies, he uses the Mobius, the shape, to do something. I forget what. But it comes up.
Okay, cool. I just caught it on this guy. I was like, oh, the guy's named Mobius. I wonder if it's because of the time thing, or like the looping thing.
It definitely comes out in in Endgame when he's trying to figure out how time travel works.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's all like, "Look, it's a Mobius strip." Woo! You know.
Oh, okay, cool. I hate time travel. That's just me. But hey, I think just on the detective thing that you guys were talking about, detective story, I think that alone, and actually Loki, the actor, his character is pretty cool too. He's funny. And
Man, I felt it when he was crying when he's like showing
Yeah.
him dying and like his mom dying. I was like, "It's okay."
yeah, so that's another thing, right? Is this another attempt at Disney trying to make us look at the bad guy and feel bad for the bad guy, kind of like they did with Cruella?
No, because in the sequence of the show, Loki is more like an anti-hero than a villain. So it's already set up. It's already a set precedent that he's a good guy, but not really. He's like the Punisher.
Okay, so he's
He
not a good
comes
guy,
around.
but not.
He's not a villain, but he's not a good guy either. He's like, I play both sides, and hopefully I come out on top.
Gotcha. But we saw his features, so yikes, boy.
I mean, we saw his presence.
He's
Because it happened in the movie.
for me, this is all new, man. It's all new.
Yeah, I understand. I'm just saying.
Okay. Yeah, it's all good. All right. Well, watch it. It's good. I think it's worth watching. It's definitely.
Yeah.
There's like 20 minutes of credits at the end. Don't watch those.
Or do, because they sometimes sneak in little
Yeah.
after credit scenes and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know why they did that. It's like 10 minutes of credits. It's like, Jesus. Fine.
10 minutes or just the translations, too.
Yeah. All right. Well, if you guys are done with that segment, do you guys want to get into the main topic here?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm excited for this
Yeah.
one. This is a good
All
show.
right. So
I'm ruining my
Roundtable,
thoughts
right?
on it.
So, yeah, I got Tyler's all excited. Let's go, Tyler. Did you like it? Did you like this series?
I love the show. Yeah. I was watching it with my fiance. I knew Mexy liked musicals, so I told him you should watch it. I didn't think he would like it as much as he does, but then, yeah, it's an awesome show. It's unique. I haven't seen anything like it, so.
Okay, cool, nice. I'll go next. So I overall I did like the show. I'm not a big musical person, and I will say I did skip a lot of the songs because I just didn't care. But I'll give it points.
Songs.
I'll give it points for this being. It's a very original and unique take, but it's just super whiny, and I just can't. It's just like it's like good in the way of like I don't know, nacho cheese is good, but it's not good for. It's just felt like junk food. You know what I'm saying? Junk food TV. I don't know how to explain this.
Ouch.
I did enjoy it, but that's how it felt for me. Anyway, Mexi, go
You
ahead.
compared it to
When you're
nacho cheese.
I understand what he's saying. He's saying it's not The Wire. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
you're
that's
not
fair,
thinking
yes.
about this. It's just like you watch it like, oh, yeah, let's get some of this more cake stuff, eat it. Yeah, delicious. But it's like there's not a lot of substance,
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
I get
I mean,
it.
that's fair. That's fair.
Except season one. Season one had some heavy moments,
Um,
but we can get
I
into it
think
later.
the show is really well done. I liked most of the episodes. I think the main character could go away and then the show would still be as good. But overall, it's a really strong showing, and I'm super disappointed on what we're gonna cover towards the end of the show. But T Max all the way! Woo!
Team Max. Yeah.
Team Max. All right. So before we get into any specific topics, so obviously we cannot cover the whole story, but Mexi, give us the 2-line or 3-line summary of what the seasons are about.
Okay.
That way we can.
Well,
set
we'll go for the
stage.
premise of the show first. First, girl super emo. She's a software engineer in Apple wannabe. She gets a headache, goes through an MRI scan. Being in California, earthquake, she gets superpowers. Now she can feels people's emotions through music. And then first season, it's her basically going through and learning how to deal with the death of her father that is impending. And it's very impending. They make it very obvious from the beginning. And then second season is how she deals with her father being dead, as well as living life and relationships and things like that. And that's it. It's great.
Yeah, it's great. It's good summary.
It's great.
And of course, there's a lot of stuff that happens in between, but
Yes.
that's the premise. So yeah. So I guess so Tyler pitched this show to us. Pitched it to Mexi. Mexi was like, "Show me a good scene." Mexi was like, "I'll watch it. Cute girl, click. I'll click. It's fine." And for me, I started watching first 20 minutes. I was like, I can't watch this. I'm done. But I powered on through, and the reason for that is because they did something very offensive, and they called software developers. They call them coders, and I was like, I can't
does
do
hurt.
this.
It does hurt.
I can't do this.
You
We're
have
not
to look
monkeys.
past it.
We're not
I
just
picture that as
jabbing
the
at the
same.
thing.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Like I can imagine doctors and nurses watching
Yeah.
medical shows and just
I
being,
know, right?
it's just the most cringy thing ever. So I
Right.
picture it as the same thing, and I just let it go and enjoy
Yeah.
the show for the good parts.
Yeah, so that's why I stopped watching it, but I came back. I was like, okay, we'll ignore that. It's fine. It's for the
Proud of you.
normies, It's okay.
It's for the normies.
But
For the
I don't know,
normies.
man. No offense to anybody. We're not. It's fine.
It's okay. You're better off in this other world.
But that's the premise, and so the meta, right? We're talking about like the show's original, and it's unique because I don't know. Maybe you guys have seen more TV than I have, but I've never seen a full on like TV series that's a musical.
There's been a couple.
It's been a
There's
couple.
Yeah.
been High School Musical, Glee.
Glee.
Okay.
Yeah.
Glee.
Glee's the really popular one.
Yeah.
Mm.
But I think this one's quite a bit different than that. But I could be wrong. I actually haven't watched much of Glee. or
I've
High
never
School
seen those
Musical.
two, but I've heard Glee is really cool, but never seen it, so don't know what is it about.
Riverdale's kind of a musical too in some points. Archie.
But is it about? Yeah, but this
It's
is
not
unique in the way that. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it's unique in the way that it's presented, where like it's part of the plot. It doesn't just happen because it happens. Like because it's her superpower,
Yeah.
she needs to figure out why people are feeling a certain way, right? So
Yeah,
it's-
yeah. So,
Right.
yeah, exactly.
It
So
like
her-
it's meta. It knows it's a musical, and it's
right, because
Yeah.
she knows that only Zoey, the main character, can hear the music, and you're not like because normally in musicals they're like just doing their normal thing and then like making their toast, and all of a sudden they break out into a song, and everybody pretends it didn't happen, right?
Right.
In this show, she knows it's happening. Maybe it's happening only in her brain, right? But she's hearing somebody else's thoughts as her superpower as a musical.
Right.
So like Tyler said, very meta, and that's what's unique, I believe.
And the musical style was very different from song to song to fit the emotion of the scene. Whereas, like, I feel like a lot of musicals kind of have the same musical style throughout. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I feel like usually.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Like whoever sat down, so somebody wrote the story, and then somebody else wrote, or I don't know, maybe the same person figured out which song fits, because the songs were like dead on. Like There's a song for each type of feeling, and that was pretty cool.
Right.
That
And
was like, oh,
sometimes it
snap,
was
that's
like
cool.
sometimes it was like the lyrics fit the feeling, and
Yep.
sometimes it was the song, the tone fit the feeling. It was the music was really good.
Yeah.
I don't think they could have done much better with the music, honestly.
That's kind of what hooked me for the first episode. Can I talk about my first favorite song?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Go for it.
Nice,
So,
nice.
like,
yeah.
So when Tyler first told us the song and he was like, "Should I ask him for a scene?" I was like, "I'm not feeling this, like, but I'll watch it anyways."
I
And
went
then
for
the
a funny
first-
scene, by the way. That was my bad. It was
It's
a
okay.
miss. But anyways, go.
So when I saw the first episode, and then you're introduced to the character of Simon, and then he's singing "Mad World" by Tears for Fear, I was like, "Oh my god!" If you guys haven't heard,
Yeah.
if you've never heard that song, it's like so gut wrenching, and the way he was singing it, I was like, "It's gonna be okay, man." Like, I don't know why you're sad, but like,
Yeah,
Yes.
Simon,
Yes.
poor guy.
and this character, you later find out that his dad committed suicide, and that's why he's singing the song. But like, it was so moving to me. Like, I was just like, "Bro, what is happening?" And I was hooked. From that moment, I was hooked. I love that song too, so it helps.
Yeah. So is that your first favorite song? Because you say you had two.
Yeah,
That's,
that's probably
Only
my,
2. I wrote down 4.
Oh, snap.
It's probably my favorite song of that season. Like, that performance song scene is probably my favorite one. But yeah.
I mean, Simon is a good singer, and you could tell, and he's a good performer
Yes.
too. So I think that anything he did, I think was pretty good.
Yeah. That's a good
False.
point too. Is not all of them were good singers, but it's
Not even the main
okay.
character.
But it's okay though. It doesn't really matter. I think they played to everyone's strengths.
Yeah.
Do
You guys have favorite?
song? I mean, yeah. Tyler said he has 4, so he must at least have one.
Yeah. Mad World is definitely on my list. But I think my favorite was The Sound of Silence.
That's a good one.
Because Disturbed does a remix of The Sound of Silence, and
Mhm.
that Disturbed, or not remix, remix, whatever, cover.
Cover.
Yeah, they do a cover of The Sound of Silence, and that is one of my favorite songs ever. Just the cover of it, and this kind of reminded me of that. It's her dad who's dying, and he's singing The Sound of Silence because he has this rare neurological disease and he can't really talk to anyone. And yeah, that was another moving scene, but the song is also awesome.
Okay.
I have 3 favorite songs. Damn it.
Damn it. Yeah.
And it's not even this one.
Let Trigo go first, then we'll go into
Yeah.
other ones.
Yeah. So I only have one that like comes to mind, and then
It's because you
like-
fast forwarded through half of them.
no. I mean, okay. So I'll come out. I'm not a big music person. I don't listen to a lot of music. I don't like. I'm not cultured.
Mhm.
But so it's more like what I could relate more with, and that's when Max was singing "Numb" in front of his dad, right?
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
as I mean, it's just like you always want to be good for them, right? You want to show
Yeah.
like, hey, I'm doing well, and
Yeah.
like he could feel the rejection, like the okay, sure,
Yeah.
I'll support whatever you're doing, but I don't really care.
Like, I don't believe in it.
Like, yeah, exactly. So that's what gets it got to me, right? So it's like
Mhm.
I and that
Yeah.
stuck with me. So Max singing to in front of his dad, Numb, it's like
That was a
man,
brutal one.
That's rough. That's rough, man. That's rough. I
You
get
know
it.
what's funny about that? Is I told you he was gonna sing Numb, and you're like,
Oh, you did.
you're like, "Oh, whatever." But when you
Like,
see him,
Yeah, I was like, how good could it be? Like, guys, shut up, Maxie.
yeah,
I'm like, oh, man. Max.
I believe in you.
Anyway, if anybody has a happy moment song, I would love it right now.
I know.
Oh, I got 2 of those.
Mine is kind of happy. So like at the end of the first episode, when you first like when her power first triggers with her dad, so that she can finally hear her dad, and like he's trying to explain, like cheer her up about, it's gonna be fine, like you're gonna be okay, kind of like the True Color song. I was bawling during that scene because I was like, "Oh, your dad is still there."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
dude.
because throughout the first episode, they're kind of making it seem like the dad is brain dead because he's just staring at a wall. But like
Yeah.
that moment where you're like, she needs her dad so bad, and then he like starts singing. I was like, it's too beautiful.
Yeah.
I can't handle this. It's a
Yeah,
good thing
that
I
was-
sit here alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty.
That scene was
heavy.
super well done because he's like started singing when the camera was off of him, you know.
Yeah,
And then he comes in a frame. Oh, it was big. That's
yeah.
big.
It's big, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What about what does the fox say?
Oh,
That was a
fuck,
happy
dude.
That
note.
was him.
I don't know how they fit that into this show, but they did.
Yeah. What
Getting Simon to sing that randomly. What does the
Yes.
fox sing? And then actually,
Yeah.
oh god.
yeah, I know,
Too
man.
good.
That's some.
It was funny.
What year was that? Like 2014, something? I don't know, 17. I don't know. It was all back.
2014 maybe.
I don't
Let
know.
me see. 2013.
Yeah, that's hilarious, man.
It's good times.
Oh man.
Uh,
My last one was Starships.
that's a
When they
good
were
scene.
singing it when they were high.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was awesome.
I think
They're, like,
the video.
walking
I
through
don't know
the
the
street.
song, but the video, but like the way they were performing it was super funny because it fit well exactly what
Mhm.
they were
Yeah.
feeling. So
Yeah.
yeah, spot on.
That's
Oh,
good.
man. Good.
I mean, my final favorite. See, like I only like the really sad songs, and it's just because it like I felt them. Like when Max and Zoey are fine. Spoilers. When they're finally like
Spoilers.
dating, right?
Yeah.
And like their relationship is kind of falling apart, and Max sings that song, the "Say Something." I was like, I
Oh,
feel
yeah.
you, Max. I
Yeah.
feel.
Yeah.
Which I'm gonna be a Max stan, man. He is by far the best character in the show, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Max. I'll take it back. Max and Mo tied. Like,
Yeah.
every time
Yeah.
Max sings or every, like Max is in the scene, I feel for the guy. I'm like, a little piece of me is like, I understand you. I understand, Max.
Right. Yeah, and so I guess they'll move to the next questions I wanted to ask. Like, what was your favorite
Yeah,
character?
yeah.
So you said Max was your favorite character in the
Max and Mo
Max and Mo.
Yep.
Yeah.
together, they make Maximo.
Maximum.
Which
I'm
is
so
a
glad they
spoiler.
became friends too, like in the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
good.
Tyler, you have favorite characters?
Yeah. Mo was in my list, and then I went with Tobin, which is a smaller character, but I knew Max was going to be taking in some others. So Tobin, I think, is a shockingly good character because you don't think he's going to be a good character in the beginning. He seems like a filler character, kind of crude, and like he has a terrible sense of humor, and he's like misogynistic, and then but his growth throughout the show is among the best of
Mhm.
all the characters. I think he grows in, and he has some really clutch moments, and I really like Tobin a lot.
Yeah,
But I like
he's
Max.
like a
and-
programmer, right? Yeah.
yeah, he's like
Yeah.
a programmer in the beginning. Yeah, exactly. But I like Max, and I like some of the others too. But Mo and Tobin, definitely up there on my list.
Yeah, so I will echo on Mo. Mo is a very very good character, and I think
Super
their role
versatile.
yeah, exactly. The role is like super big in this show for a lot of reasons. But I mean, they can sing. That's one of
Mhm.
them. Like
Yeah.
they don't need auto tuning like everybody else. But my other second favorite is the boss, Lauren, I believe, the CTO or
Yeah.
whatever the boss, and mostly because she's like kind of trying to like put this face as a woman and in leadership. She's trying to put this face that she's a hard ass, but with Zoey, she opens up and she's like, "Hey, I'm just a person, and all these
Mhm.
bad things are happening to me, and
Right.
I'm dealing with them." So she kind of like disappeared in season 2, but she kind of shows a lot of growth also. So and I'm only
Yeah.
picking also different characters. Simon is also good, but I have problems with him at the beginning, and I could never get past those. So that's.
Did you
why
really
I
have problems
liked
with
him.
Simon? Because I was
It's-
Team Max all the way, but it wasn't like I hated Simon. It was like
I didn't-
I
yeah.
felt for Simon. I just thought Max was better for the main character. So
Yeah, I didn't
So-
hate Simon. It's just like this whole like Zoey flirting with the guy that's engaged, and that
Yeah.
and the show was making it look like it was fine.
yeah,
I
it
was like,
felt a
dude,
little
like,
gross.
That was weird. Like they can't do that.
Yeah.
Like that's not like imagine if they switched the roles, right? Like it was a guy flirting with an engaged woman. Like they would be like, no, can't do this. Like it's just no, it just doesn't feel right. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It's not cool.
It's
But you have to,
2021, man. You can do whatever you want. I'm
Yeah,
just
but
kidding.
it's-
I'm just
I think
kidding. I'm not
it's-
gonna do anything.
I think I know why they did it. So it had like some drama, spiciness, but it's just like
Yeah.
it just feels wrong, and that's why like dude, like you know what you're doing. You can't just do this. It's like you know what I'm saying. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
understand though Simon's character because like he's going through a lot, and like this person's cheating and can read your mind, and she's like, oh, like why does my fiance not understand me, but this person does? Woe is me.
Right.
Mm.
Right.
I get it. I get it.
He wasn't like
Um,
nefarious about it, you know. But
Yeah.
it did. I will say it did feel a little gross. I don't condone it either. But it wasn't like it was fully nefarious. I guess it's the
Just
word.
yeah, it wasn't full nefarious, but as an outsider, like you know what the right choice is. Like the right choice is like
Yeah.
stop talking to this girl at work, let her do her own thing. You're gonna be engaged. Go get married to this other lady
Yeah.
and move on your life. And if it doesn't work out and you guys get divorced, fine. All right.
That's
But
an
you're-
expensive thing, man.
I mean, it is expensive, right? But you gotta see it through. You gotta see it through.
Okay.
It can't be like you know, like with what is it? How do they say your hand in the jar while over there, fucking.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just me. That's personally, it just has some like boundary issues, ethical boundary issues, or more moral issues that I couldn't get past.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the character was good. The character was good.
I think all the characters had really good flaws. Like they
Yeah.
showed you their flaws, but they were good characters nonetheless.
Yeah.
Yep, that's one
I
thing.
was
they did
impressed
really
how
well.
good the
Yeah.
characters were for a musical show. You know? Well, I guess
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Does that make it easier to show their emotion?
No, because I think they fleshed out a lot of characters. Like you're saying,
Yeah,
Tobin.
yeah.
Like when you meet him, he's very side character,
Right.
but you're still understanding his character arc, and it's pretty good.
Yeah.
The other character that I think I could relate to was I think Zoe's brother, the David. Like when they have a kid, they go from like having a kid, he's doing his thing, and like once he has a kid, like he wants to just be at home with them. So it's just like
Yeah.
like I know I kid around a lot that it's like kids are demons and they're soul sucking and all these things, but it's more
He
like
actually does say that.
it's
actually.
just like dude, like it's just once you cross that boundary over to the fatherhood side, it's like some love that you've never experienced before in your life, and it's different. It's like I just want to be with you all the time. But you know, so I could relate with that.
That's a good take.
Now that you bring that up, I think another a super underrated character that gets more better, doesn't sound right. It gets better is that guy's wife. I forget what her name was. It's the brother's wife. The brother's wife. Because she gets like the postpartum depression and all
Emily,
that.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They touched some big issues in the show.
I thought that was so well done. Like that episode where like the way they introduced it, it's a very good metaphor about how she's feeling because she has to like hide her feelings and it's like mixed emotions depending on who she's talking to and stuff. And I'm like,
Right.
oh my god, like I feel so bad for you because up to this point you're kind of just a side character. Like
Yeah.
you have like real
Right.
shit going on. You know? I thought that was really good.
Yeah,
So
well,
I think
that's a good point.
Yep, and that's the I guess just overall that's what this show did different than a lot of other shows. They're not hiding anything. Like we're now in 2021. Like all these things are real,
Mhm.
and this TV show put them all in front of your face, and there was no like we're showing you something allegorically or like you're supposed to fill in the gaps. No, they tell you exactly what's happening: suicide, race and gender, inequalities at work, and stuff like that. They're all like front and center, right? Like they're making you like there's no guessing. It's like here it is, think about it, it's real. Postpartum, like what you were saying, pretty good stuff, man.
And honestly, I think that's what really drew me into the show. Like, this stuff was in your face. They weren't hiding it. They weren't sugarcoating it. Like when you meet Mo and you start learning about Mo and like her gender fluidness, right?
Yeah,
You're like, it's so heartbreaking because like she's dealing with how much she loves her religion and stuff like that. Like you wouldn't think it's such a big part of her life until they start going through that episode and like how she has to hide it. But the priest, I guess, preacher, it's like, nah, man, I'm cool with it. Like, I wish you didn't have
Yeah.
to, right? Like, it was such
Yeah.
a really cool, like, just seeing these issues be popped up, right? Like, it's so in your face and it's so good. And it just kind of like, I love just the way they're presented to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The cool thing is the actor actually, or the character mimics the actor in real life somewhat.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Yeah.
it's a similar story.
Yeah, that's a complicated thing, and I think that's. I mean, I'm not an expert in it. I'm not gonna touch it. I'll let you guys
Mm-hmm.
explore it. But it's a gender fluidity. It's a thing that I hadn't been aware of, and
Mhm.
apparently it's a thing, and it's fine. It's they did not hide it. They did not hide it. Did not shy away from it. They show it to you. They present it to you in different ways, and it exists and it's there. Accept it. It's 2021, motherfucker.
Nah, like
Yeah,
every issue
absolutely.
they show, it's really good. Like it's not
Yeah.
like it doesn't make you like hate something because they like put it in your face, like oh right, like because some people are really like some shows are really overt about it, or like look at this character. Like I was like, whoa, bro, like why do we have to spotlight something that should just be normalized, right? Like
Right.
Yeah.
The other thing is the race and gender episode. I think no, sorry, the race episode, the one where they talk about so Simon is
the algorithm being racist.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
algorithm being racist. Yeah, we talked about it a little bit in the documentary a few weeks ago. That man, like algorithms are racist, like in a way because they design them like not to push on the spot, Tyler, but the white people. Hopefully, you don't feel offended, but it's just like white people are the main people designing these things from the top, and they're like, "Yep, it works for me. Ship it." And then like all of a sudden, it's like, "Whoa, it doesn't work on like people of color. What the?" So it's not inclusive, right? And they're making Simon do some shady PR things, like, "Hey, just say these things and that," and so that to like sweep things under the rug. And he's conflicted, right? So he wants to, as a black man, he wants to be promoted and stuff, but at the same time he like wants to stand up for his right, for what he believes in. So that's pretty hard. And I think Zoey at the time, she's trying to be like, hey, let's talk about race, but you just can't do that. Like the people that were talking about it were like people that were in positions of privilege, which is kind of like it defeats the point, right? So
Well, I think the way that you presented it for Zoe is like, yes, it's bad, we'll fix it. But like she didn't understand the issue, right? Like
Right.
the underlying issue with this.
Which is such a realistic way to approach it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Because
what
it's like she wanted to do the right thing, but she just didn't understand it.
Like it's hard to understand what the right thing actually
Right.
is, right? Like
Yeah.
because just fixing it and pretending nothing was wrong is just the same as brushing it under the rug, right? Like
yeah.
Yeah.
you're not fixing the issue. By the way,
Right.
this is gonna be a self-serving comment, but when I got to that episode, I was so excited for you guys to watch it because we had just recorded our episode on the
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
coded bias. So it's just
Yeah.
like you guys gotta get to this episode. You guys gotta get to this
Yes.
episode.
Yeah, it ties exactly within because exactly what it happened in real life. Like this
Yeah.
algorithm did not detect a black woman, right?
Yeah.
And these things are out there now. And I was like, how could these be? Right? So, and that's
Yeah.
just like the tip of like just as a part of it. Like there's a lot of other inequalities that are happening that are not detected. They're not cut and dry. Like I don't know. It's just they did a very good job at explaining kind of like what's happening.
Mhm.
The people who are not affected by this are the one proposing solutions when they should be like take a back seat, chill out, let them work it out.
Yep.
But
It's good stuff, man. Like
good
yeah,
stuff, good stuff.
it's so hard to like shit on the show because it does a lot of good things right, in my opinion.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, but and the other hard topic that I want to address before we move into lighter stuff is I think the first season was kind of based around or was setting you up for death and dealing with grief, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that like his dad had PSP, and I think that they did that on purpose. Like they want you to put a focus on that disease specifically, to see how it affects people's lives. And it's
The writer's dad
yeah,
passed away
the
from
writer's-
PSP.
exactly. Yeah. So he wanted to be like, look, this is a thing. I'm writing the show, do this thing, and dedication for his father. So that is pretty sad, man. Like seeing somebody like slowly deteriorate over time to the point where like they can no longer function. So that's they like Zoey was grieving for a long time, and that's something that's pretty hard.
Which is not even just that, it's like dealing with the process, right? So like them going to the cemeteries and funeral homes to like, we need to get ready to, when your dad passes away in X weeks or something. Because the
Right.
timeline is super short, right? Like they're saying
Right.
it's like weeks or months away.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
having to deal with like going to find this for your parents, it's like, oh, it's so hard to see. Like,
Yeah. Like it's not real, right? So it's
I will say, I legit cried every episode of season 1 because it's just like everything was so heartbreaking to me every time they dealt with the dad and like the issue with the dad dying.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh,
That's rough.
fuck.
When they go through all, like you said, they go through all the stages.
Yep.
You know, they try to get him. They get him in nurse or in home care, and
Mhm.
it's like they go through all the stages and they do it really fast, like one episode after another. It's rough. If you've ever
Yeah.
been
That's-
through like at least some of that, I think everybody can relate to some of the
Yeah.
stages.
Yeah. So, and just personally speaking, like grief, man, take care of your grief because it eats you from inside. So that's one thing that I don't know if they touched a lot on the show. She was wallowing for a long time instead of actually doing what she did in the second season, which is seek help
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
go to the
I think
doctor. But
that was the point of the second season.
oh,
It's just
yeah.
how does she deal with life after her dad? Because like in the first couple episodes, she's just like, they had the 6-week time skip, right? And where she was just like, I'm living at home, nothing's wrong, da 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 da, until she actually had to deal with the world, and then everything fell apart. But yeah, oh man, that final scene, with the first season when they're singing American Pie, just like right in the feels.
Yeah, dude.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the way it ends too. It's just like when the day the music dies and it's just quiet. Like, oh, it's too hard. Too hard.
man. Too hard.
Or like, oh my god, then when she's dancing right before the dad dies and he's like doing that final dance with the daughter. And I was just like, oh, like, that's so hard. So hard to watch. Because you know it's coming. Like, that episode, they're not shying away. They're like, he's dying today. And if you're like, even as a viewer, I was like, I'm not ready. Like, I'm not ready to watch this happen.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
All right. Well, season 2 is a little bit lighter. Well,
Oh man.
there's a lot of love triangle things going on, circles, and that's where I lost a little bit of interest because it's like Zoey can't make up her mind who does she like, Simon or Max, and Max and Simon become friends, which is a little confusing. I guess that's cool. Simon and Max and Mo are friends, and Zoey is like in the middle of all that. So
I mean, I can understand how you're friends with somebody, but like, it's a little weird, the love triangle going on there. But without that love triangle, you wouldn't get the scene of them almost doing it, where Max is trying to not think about having sex, so he starts like singing the baseball song and then mixes a sex song in the middle of it. Funniest scene in the show.
I can't believe that wasn't one of our favorite songs. Oh, I forgot about that.
yeah, it's a little awkward. Yeah, but
It's a little weird. It's a great scene. Don't get me wrong. I think it's one of the funnier scenes ever, and true talent from Max. But it's not like super memorable in my opinion.
Yeah. But when he sings the two songs at the same time,
Skill. It's
it
definitely
was pretty
skill.
good. Yeah.
yeah.
Because he's going
Yeah,
back and forth between "Take Me Out to the Ballpark" and what was the other song? It was like a love song.
Yeah, it's one from Boys to Men. I forget what song it is. I'll Make Love to You, isn't it?
I don't know. We'll post the link because I don't remember. But yeah, so
It was so well done.
yeah, so that was it. Max, like we said before, he's definitely the better singer and performer of all of them. So it's worth watching just for him.
Yeah. He's the one from Glee, right?
Oh, is
Yeah.
he? I didn't know.
No,
Yeah,
I don't think he was.
Or not Glee, but Pitch Perfect.
Pitch Perfect. Yes, he's from Pitch Perfect.
Yeah. So
Okay.
he has.
So
That's
He's
his
done
thing.
this before. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah. So that's all. I mean, there's also another love stuff going on with Mo, and he does find a married man. So they explain that complications with that, somebody that has kids. So Sorry, not married.
Well, he's
divorced.
divorced.
Otherwise it
Yeah,
would've been-
yeah.
exactly. Misspoke there. Sorry, crucial detail. She's
Mhm.
not. Yeah, she's not doing anything bad. She's over the table stuff. So, and then, but I think Mexi told me about the biggest things of the bromances between Leaf and Tobin. You know, when Leaf finds another girl. Oh wait, yeah, the boss lady. Tobin's all
Mhm.
sad because he's like, oh man, we used to be bros. Now you're over there chasing skirt.
Son of a
See,
beast.
this show has everything: bromances,
Yeah, has
romances,
everything,
drama.
So while I didn't like it for different reasons, I think the show is wholesome. It has a lot of stuff going on, and you're gonna like it. But it's
Good
not
show.
The Wire, so.
It's like you're saying, it's good junk food. You can watch it and you feel good about yourself. Unless you're me and you're crying every episode of season 1.
No, it's heavy. It's heavy.
It is
Yeah,
heavy.
It's heavy. Yeah.
But it's definitely worth watching, in my
Cool.
opinion.
Yeah. But that ending though. That ending.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's spoilers here. Spoiler town. Max getting the power. What? WTF? How does that even work?
Yeah. How does that even work when they cancel the damn show?
Oh, I thought we were skirting that one. I thought we were being dramatic.
Yeah, no, it's out of the bag, man. So NBC, I guess, announced that they're not gonna renew it. Somebody might renew it, but I think it's done. I think it ended in a good spot.
Shut your mouth.
Look, Zoey got Max got Zoey, which I still think that was not a good thing because I mean Max is such a good guy the whole show, and Zoe's just like yeah, I'm gonna go do these things and forget it, man.
Zoe
I'm
doesn't
done with it.
deserve Max.
Yeah,
Just throwing it
that's
out there.
That's my take. But yeah, Tyler, do you have any thoughts? Do you want more? Is that it for you? Disappointed?
I'm conflicted. Yes, I want more, but it's kind of perfect in my mind. So I don't want them to ruin it. I don't want them to drag it out and ruin it. And I know with the end with Max getting the powers, as long as they have a plan. Yeah, it's such a cliffhanger. I want to see more, but I don't want them to ruin it. So that's
Yeah, that's the thing. I think they had plans to make a third season, but I think it ends. I think it's fine if it ends. I know, Max, you want more, but if it ends here, it wouldn't be a bad 2 seasons. So that's
I'm good either way. I would definitely take more though. Absolutely.
I hate when things don't have a proper ending. Even if it's bad and I hate the ending, I just want to see it. Like leaving it as a cliffhanger to me is like the biggest slap in the face because it's just like really like
it's not a cliffhanger. They live happily ever after.
why when they were surprised like, oh, I have your powers, what does this mean, you know?
Now they
like,
both understand the world in the same way. Now they can finally be happy together. I don't know, man. Yeah, I'm okay with that. It's just honestly, like I said, I'm not a big musical person, so I skipped a lot of songs. I didn't know them anyways. Like, okay, I get the gist. I know you guys are feeling skip. Because they're long. They're long episodes, man. It's like 40 minutes. I was trying to rush through it so I can get to these, so we can talk about it. But yeah, I think 2 seasons are solid. They're worth watching.
I want closure.
That's my final. You want closure? Yeah. Well, maybe somebody will pick it up. I think there's a high chance that somebody picks it up for funding.
Papa Bezos, come on, please.
Yeah, Papa Bezos.
You're getting that grant money for going to space. You know, means you can pay for this.
He's gonna step down from CTO, so he doesn't care anymore. He's doing space things now, man.
Yeah, man. Look, man, he can save this one last thing, okay? He can leave the Earth behind after he saves this. He did it for the Expanse. Just do it for this.
Yeah. Cool. Well, yeah. With that, you guys okay with wrap it?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I think so.
You guys,
All right.
next week. It's gonna be a good one next week. I can feel it in my gonads.
Yeah, another musical. All right. Peace.
See ya.
See ya.
Thank you for listening. If you like this podcast, please give us a star, heart, or leave us a review. You can follow us on Twitch, Twitter, or YouTube at Pubstomp Podcast. That's PUBSTOMPOD cast. For more episodes, go to anchor.fm/Pubstomp. Music provided by 99 Lives. Credits are in the episode description.